controlled by Andre Clark and the Larkin Royals, a home team here tonight in their home white uniforms.
Prairie Ridge coming out playing man-to-man defense, as is their typical. Larkin might change up the defense a little bit.
Dayvon Ellis there.
Very quick.
And already a turnover, though, taken away by the Wolves of Prairie Ridge, and it's Steve Narich who brings it up court.
He's one of their top scoring threats, primary ball handler, came off the bench last year, about 5'9", but very good with the ball.
And the quickness defensively by the Royals, and on the break, it's Henderson, dishes off inside. The Lewis doesn't go, fight for the loose ball.
Oh.
Zimmerman on his back, can't get it to go, out of bounds. Larkin basketball, what great effort already here early in the ballgame.
Yeah, you saw some of the quickness and athleticism of this Elgin Larkin team. That's what Prairie Ridge has got to deal with. Zimmerman really up high and strong for the rebound.
Off the inbounds, and scoring is George Lewis, the junior.
Any points they get from George Lewis, a bonus. Perry's a defensive specialist. 2-3 zone now from Elgin Larkin. A little bit of a surprise.
He is the junior class president, however. We have folks there. At the other end, offensive board for Prairie Ridge, and they'll reset the offense.
That's Nate Bubb with the rebound, the junior. Nice job.
Darris will stop, pop off the glass, not there. The offensive board coach still not there, but Livas is there for the score to tie it at 2.
And Larkin will come right back down. This is their game. Transition basketball.
Zimmerman scores.
Thought it might have been a foul call there, but nice job by Larkin. They score, we score. You put the ball in the bucket, we come right back at you. Nice job by Larkin in the transition. And boy, we got to look at Nick Livas on the offensive boards the other time down. Got to account for him.
And nice pass down low. It's all 4 points for the Wolves. We're tied at 4.
Yeah, they're going to play that zone. You may play 2-3 zone, but you got to have at least 2 of the guys knowing where Nick Livas, number 5, is. Twice in a row now, he's gotten the ball on the inside.
Baseline drive. Reverse layup does not go. Livas is there for the rebound, and on the break come the Wolves.
That was George Lewis again, huh? I guess he sees that reputation as a defensive player. He said, I'm going to show you guys. I can score a little bit, too. Nice move.
Top of the key, a good look there by Harris for the 3, but short. And Henderson, the transfer from Elgin High School, who led the Maroons to scoring last year, he hits the left-hand shot.
Yeah, he's the cousin of Dayvon Ellis, and like you said, the transfer, number 2 scorer of the team, 12.8 again a game, and boy, they don't waste no time, do they, Perry? Well, they get down the court, first good shot, up it goes. Joe Kane has got his team in full gear. They're playing loose. As we said, not expected to be here.
Fighting through the zone, and grinning it is Mike Carmody, one of the heroes of that overtime thriller against Johnsbury the other night.
But that's still amazing. We'll talk about that shot in a second.
Zimmerman muscles his way in for 2. Coach, they're not missing.
Got to get back on defense. Not going to miss a layup like that. Nice job, Zimmerman, a big man running the floor. High intensity, a lot of action early.
Wide open look for 3, and hitting it is Dave Valentine.
Now we wondered, Perry, if these teams are going to be a little bit nervous coming out of the box. No nerves at all. Both teams getting up and down the court, playing their game free and easy. 2 talented teams.
Parks for 3, it rims out. But Lewis is there for the offensive rebound. Ellis for 3. And Bubb has the defensive board, and here come the Wolves.
Not afraid to shoot the ball. Elgin Larkin, first good shot, Joe Kane says. Take the shot. He ran out of room that time.
Yep, but able to dish off to the corner. And hitting it for 3 is Nate Bubb.
And again, Nate Bubb, primarily a defensive player, not known for his shooting, but the transfer from Appleton, Wisconsin, comes up with a big shot.
12-8 is the lead.
They say the baskets here are hard to shoot on, Perry. Both these teams having no problem at all early anyways.
Henderson for the tip by Ellis down the lane. They didn't box out defensively.
Yeah, that's one cousin getting a boost from the other cousin. Carlos Henderson with the shot. Dayvon Ellis, so dangerous, both outside and on the inside. Only a junior, too. Both of them are juniors.
Baseline jumper. Long that time. Henderson is there. Thank you very much. And on the break, here's Ellis. And it's stripped away by Narich. And he'll slow it up.
Check the defense here for Larkin. Looks like they stay in the zone.
Long 3, and he gets the long iron. And here's Ellis. Look how quick he is bringing up court. Switches hands to dribble. And a great play by Livas. And out of bounds, it will be Prairie Ridge basketball.
Yeah, if you got Livas on the inside, you got to use the shot fake. Ellis did not do it that time, and Livas, with the rejection, kept the ball alive, too. Boy, so much for working the ball around. Be patient, looking for a good shot, huh? Both these teams, the coaches have obviously told them, guys, you got a good look, take it. Narish bringing the ball up. He can shoot. More dangerous, though, as a penetrator.
He is a junior as well. Shorter on the perimeter. A little pump fake, baseline jumper. Yes, Valentine again.
Yeah, he's a good outside shooter. The zone will benefit David Valentine, their number 3 scoring threat after Livas and Narish, and Valentine hot early.
Baseline drive, stop, hop by Henderson, just a little short on the finish. And coming out with it are the Wolves and Valentine.
Bringing some kids off the bench that time. Timmy Wilkerson, big kid off the bench.
Another 6'4" senior, number 31. Livas, look, doesn't get a call.
Derek Adams also in the game for Prairie Ridge. Perry. Both these teams have good depth, play a lot of players.
And the action has been fast and furious early. And a great save by Ellis, but Livas is there with the steal and on the drive, and he has it tipped away. Our first foul of the ball game. Our officials tonight, Alan Schweital, Mark Leffler, and Mark Sikorsky.
And a good look at Nick Livas right there in the open court. He's done a couple of those, had a big steal in the game before where he ended out with a slam dunk that brought the crowd alive.
So Ayad Salem comes in, and Lewis will take a spot on the bench for the Royals off the inbound.
Got a good look at Andre Clark in the game also.
Valentine, and right away, Salem comes down with the rebound.
Yeah, he's been a big player, maybe one of their most valuable players come tournament time. Hit the big bucket that gave them the upset over Crystal Lake South. We got the ball right now, Ayad Salem.
And here he is on the drive.
Oh, nice pass.
Shot to Zimmerman for 2.
Great way to break down the defense, the penetration, and then Eric Zimmerman spotting up with the catch and the soft kiss, but Salem the one who made that play.
Zimmerman was 6 of their 12. Nice passing over the top of the zone.
A little more patient this time, got to rotate the ball against the zone. They're allowing Narish to shoot from the outside. You can see that defensive strategy. They'll get out on Valentine.
Valentine, the floater. Livas is there, several opportunities, and he was fouled, and he'll shoot 2.
You see Ayad Salem right there, but there's Nick Livas again. A couple of newspaper reporters who've seen a lot of their games. Perry telling us he's as good and as active an offensive rebounder as they've seen at the high school level in a long time, and we've seen that certainly in the first 5+ minutes of this ballgame.
So here's Livas.
See, I think if you're Elgin Larkin, you assign one guy. When the shot goes up, your job is one thing. You find Nick Livas and you get in front of him. It doesn't matter if you get the rebound or not. You make sure he does not get the rebound. Good look at Corky Card, Dad Ray Card, and also Jim Condell on the bench.
This is 6th point of the ball game. The lead is 16-12 for the Wolves.
A little pressure from Prairie Ridge, trying to slow down a little bit the Elgin Larkin team. Does a nice strategy. Narish on the ball.
Down the lane, Salem travel.
Got a little bit quick, a little bit hurried right there against the pressure. It was a nice job by Corky Card to apply the pressure, and now Larkin's going to do the same thing a little bit, but just token pressure. Well, it's surprising, isn't it, with the quickness that they have, that they drop back in the 2-3 zone. I would assume we'll see some full court man-to-man pressure from the Royals.
Yeah, they'll mix it up. Wide open look, now a little pump fake and drive down the lane, and really forcing it is Narish, but he does draw the foul, and he'll go to the line.
Yeah, it's a good call. Eric Zimmerman, a little bit of a mistake that time because Narish was in trouble. Zimmerman helps to bail him out by breaking that imaginary mirror the coaches will tell you not to break, and fouls Narish on the arm. There's a good look at the senior point guard, Steve Narish. Came off the bench for that amazing team last year, Perry. You remember Brett Cole, the great outside shooter. Todd Babington, who's now playing at Austin Peay. Here's a look on the drive by Narish. You see he's in trouble. All Zimmerman's got to do is straight up with the hands, and he's got the block with the bailout foul.
Averages 81% from the line. Made 1 of 2, though. That time down. 5-point lead for the Wolves. Ellis. And he is fouled, and he'll go to the line to shoot 2.
Now, that kind of quickness and taking the ball to the basket will draw fouls on the other team. Dayvon Ellis, only a junior. At the free throw line, what an outstanding season he's had. Watch, quickly down the court they go, forcing the action, and boy, they told us he was good in transition, and we've really seen that in the first quarter.
And he does not get that to go, rolls out for him. Here's the second opportunity.
St. Charles North game in the sectional opener here at Barrington. Carlos Henderson had missed the shot. It was Dayvon Ellis's putback rebound that was the big basket, gave him the 42-39 lead, and they went on a 9-2 run at the end of the game to pull away. But it was 40-39, Perry, with 1:30 left.
Now it's 3 in the game. Juan Williams has checked in, number 11 for the Royals. He's another one of those juniors.
Again, both teams have outstanding depth, quality starting fives, but both coaches not afraid to bring a lot of players, 9 or 10 deep, both teams.
Inside a minute remaining here in the first quarter.
As you can see, Larkin has switched to a pressure man-to-man defense.
And we talked about them mixing it up. Now the drive to the hoop. Oh. Nicely done on the layup by Derek Adams.
Yeah, there you get contributions off the bench, huh? The junior Derek Adams splits the man-to-man defense. Scores on the reverse layup. That was a great move.
And Wilkerson blocks Salem out of bounds, but it will be Royals basketball. Eric Zurich also in for the Wolves.
28 seconds left. Good look at Prairie Ridge's Eric Zurich right there, 6'4" senior. Again, both coaches doing a nice job getting a lot of players in the game early, getting their feet wet, feel the pressure a little bit of the sectional championship game.
Off the inbound, Salem, and drains at a 2.
Wow. It's amazing. Neither of these teams afraid to shoot at all. You expect to see a little bit of nerves here, big game. 32 teams left in the state, chance to go to the Supers. Both teams playing like it's an intramural game.
Here's Livas now, guarded there by Henderson, a pump fake, takes it.
Yep.
And he traveled.
Yeah, a little out of control. Nick Livas, 6'5". He can handle the ball on the outside. That time he rushed it a little bit.
Don't forget, viewers, after this game, we have a double hitter for you here on Comcast. The Juliet Township sectional final between Hillcrest and Homewood Flossmoor. So 2 games for you right here on Comcast. And Zimmerman now with 8, and at the buzzer, brings his team to within 2.
Great pass by Dayvon Ellis. Great job of the Larkin Royals.
At the end of 1 quarter of play, Prairie Ridge 19, Larkin 17. You're watching the sectional championship game exclusively here on Comcast. Welcome back to the Barrington Sectional Championship game. I'm Perry Williams with the coach John Cohn and Nick Livas for Prairie Ridge. As we start the second quarter, his team leading 19-7, over 17 over Larkin. Will go to the line to shoot 2. We're just underway. What a first quarter that was, Coach.
Yeah, had to catch our breath here at the scorers table. Fast pace, both teams shooting the ball. Good look at Eric Zimmerman, who had a heck of a first quarter.
8 points, 4 of 5 from the floor. Both teams about the 50% mark.
A lot of those 8 points, Perry, coming off of great passes. The last one right before the end of the quarter by Dayvon Ellis.
Jimmy Brown, number 40, is checked in for Larkin. Livas looking for his 7th point of the ball game.
Going to be playing basketball at Olivet Nazarene College. Little NAIA action for Nick Livas next year. Ryan Paxson from Lake Forest is going to be joining him there.
So a 3-point lead for Prairie Ridge. Record of 22-7 coming in. Larkin 15-15, but boy, they come on big time here in the tournament, but that time they lose the handle, does Henderson. Not too many turnovers in that first quarter.
Wasn't a chance.
No, it's just end to end.
We'll see if the second quarter now, these teams came out with such energy. Let's see if we settle just a little bit here in the second quarter. Good matchup now as Larkin is going into the man-to-man defense. 5
turnovers for Larkin in that first quarter, only 2 for the Wolves.
Juan Williams having the job to defend Steve Naris. Juan Williams doing a good job defensively. Joe Kane's already got 10-11 players in the game.
Nate Bubb, now a pump fake. And hitting it is Valentine.
Boy, he's really looking for a shot, isn't he? Averages about 8-9 points a game, but he's got that scorer's mentality. David Valentine, hot early.
He has 7 in the ball game, and Bubb comes up with a steal.
Has too many turnovers, Joe Kane, and his Elgin Larkin. You got to be quick. We got to take care of the basketball. Way too many unforced turnovers. Prairie Ridge now up 5.
Andre Clark will be checking in for the Royals. Little reverse, and Livas gets the bucket and 1.
Well, a great drive, no question about it. The quickness, the speed, the explosiveness of Nick Livas, 6 feet 5 inches tall, but he can really get to the basket. The breakdown there, Perry, was the Elgin Larkin help defense. You got to sag off on the perimeter. Watch Dayvon Ellis, he defends. But there's the late help defense. Salem's got to get over, slide his feet, take the charge on that play.
This for his 10th point in the ball game. A 30-second timeout coming up by the Larkin Royals.
I take that back. By the way, it was Carlos Henderson that had the job of defending Mr. Livas. There you see Joe Kane. You know, remember Joe and his brother Sean?
Yep.
At Maine South, the quarterback, the All-State quarterback. We did their football games many a times, and Joe was a basketball player for Dave Scott at Maine South High School. And just to keep the connection going, good look at Joe Kane right there. Dave Scott, the ex-coach at Maine South, his son Austin, now one of the star players for Lake Zurich High School, who's might be one of the teams in our super sectional.
Taking on Waukegan in that Lake Zurich sectional title game. Here's how they got here. Prairie Ridge beat Jacobs and Dundee Crown. Then an overtime thriller against Johnsburg. And the Skyhawks had them down big time going into that fourth quarter by 12. And it went to that buzzer and they lost in overtime.
3-point lead. It was an amazing game. Johnsburg leads by 3. They have a free throw. They missed the free throw. With time running out, Nick Livas brings the ball up the court. They double and triple team him. He kicks the ball over to Mike Carmody, who has not attempted a three-point shot all season long, folks. Mike Carmody for Prairie Ridge drains the 3 at the buzzer, and they win it in overtime. Heartbreak for Johnsburg, and Prairie Ridge lives for another day. An amazing shot, Mike Carmody.
Yeah, you see the statistics of Prairie Ridge coming in, and three-point attempts made on the season one, or three-point attempts, 1 made, 1 by Carmody.
And they're not here if he doesn't make that shot. That's what March Madness is all about, those shots like that.
Well, it was 19-17 at the quarter.
Carmody's in the game right now, number 33.
Valentine with the basketball, guarded there by Clark.
Larkin really switching up their defenses. Pressure man-to-man. Great job by Salem on the ball.
And a nice strip defensively. And a foul as Ellis was starting to go up court.
Boy, nice job defensively by Elgin Larkin. They really pressured. They were quick, did not pick up the foul, and eventually they forced Prairie Ridge into the mistake. So the 2-3 zone early, but now pressure man-to-man.
A 6-0 run to start this quarter for Prairie Ridge, as that 2-point lead now has mushroomed to an 8-point lead.
Remind everybody, of course, as per usual, we'll have our Daily Herald Comcast Player of the Game, post-game courtside with Don Johnson. Winner, of course, winning team will be cutting down the nets here in the sectional championship.
What a great job the folks here at Barrington have done hosting this sectional final. Ellis will go to the line to shoot 2, so we appreciate all their efforts and hospitality.
Yep. Their athletic director, Coach Michael Opsich, we still call him Coach because remember we had his game a couple of years ago when he was the Barrington boys coach, but doing a great job. There's a good look at the replay. Dayvon Ellis, the athleticism and the quickness. You really can't guard him one-to-one on the perimeter. Just too quick. Good look at him right there. Only a junior. Started for him as a sophomore.
And now as for, they're loaded with juniors, Coach. Henderson is a junior, and Clark is a sophomore. And George Lewis is a junior as well. They lose Zimmerman.
All conference in the Upstate 8. Larkin team's going to be tough next year. Coach Joe Kane, again, 5 losses in a row heading into the state tournament, but he kept saying, we're getting better, we're getting better. And those games were against West Chicago and Neuqua Valley, Waubonsie Valley, some very good teams, but nevertheless, 5-game losing streak heading into the tournament, and here they are, just a step away from the Supers.
7-point deficit, 25-18, 5:25 remaining until halftime. Well, spin move in the lane by Wilkerson, and he rattles one home.
Yeah, contributions off the bench for Prairie Ridge. Timmy Wilkerson, the big kid off the bench. Nice patience. Gets his feet under control. Soft touch from 7 feet.
Henderson, offensive foul called against Carlos.
He's having a little trouble getting untracked offensively. Carlos Henderson, 13 points a game. Picks up the foul. There you see, lowers the shoulder. You lower the shoulder, the ref's going to lower the foul on you. Salem comes out of the ballgame. Both coaches rotating players in and out. George Lewis back in.
6-team foul.
Here comes the full court pressure now.
Against Larkin.
So we've seen the man-to-man.
And it's off the wall, so it pays off. Bounced off of Naris's leg.
That's exactly what Joe Kane wanted out of his mixing and trapping zone defense that time. They've shown us the 2-3 zone, the pressure man-to-man, and that time the full court trap.
Now there's Jimmy Brown.
Yeah, with Henderson out of the ball game now, Dayvon Ellis really their primary scorer. Gonna get a foul call here on Prairie Ridge, but one of the keys is some other guys, like George Lewis did early, have to step up and score some points too. Zimmerman out of the game, Henderson out of the game, so scoring threats number 2 and 3 on the bench.
So the 4th team foul, another substitution coming on in, and it'll be Derek Adams back in for the Wolves.
Got 16 fouls on Elgin Larkin, so next foul by Larkin, the Wolves will be at the free throw line.
Off the inbound, and fighting for the rebound, and it will be out of bounds, and Prairie Ridge basketball.
Here comes the zone trap set up by Larkin. See how Prairie Ridge can do a little bit better job handling the pressure.
And they get the ball into Valentine, and he is fouled, so he will go to the line now to shoot the 1-and-1.
Yeah, it's a tough call. Jimmy Brown just kind of accidentally fouling from behind, but you're right now with 4:44 left, free throws, and the bonus situation a definite factor for the Wolves from Prairie Ridge.
Well, I talk like a Larkin coach. They had that great run in the early 90s where they won 3 straight regional championships. And so this is the first time they've done even back-to-back since then, winning last year and this year.
Last time in the sectionals, 1995, the Hersey team beat them. The Hersey team that went all the way down state. 1992, they lost in the, or they won the sectional, went to the super sectionals,
right.
But certainly a fine basketball tradition at Elgin Larkin. And Prairie Ridge is developing one real quick, huh?
Yep, this is for his 9th point of the ball game. He's had a quick look at the award-winning Larkin cheerleaders. Here's Ellis.
Prairie Ridge staying in their man-to-man defense. Nice job by Valentine.
Yep. Nice job by Ellis to get it back out. Kicks it out to Brown. And here's Valentine leading the break. The dish off. To Livas, not there. They fight for the offensive rebound. And leaving everything on the floor, but Ellis comes out with it. Stop, pops, and hits.
Oh, that's tough to do. That's tough to do. Full speed down the court in transition. Pull up softly and under control with a 10-foot jump shot. Great job by Dayvon.
They have the numbers. Livas will score.
And once again, the they score, we score philosophy. Right down the court comes Prairie Ridge. Larkin's done that to a couple of times, and this time Prairie Ridge turns the tables.
Livas now has a dozen, and at the other end, a foul, and Lewis will go to the line to shoot 2.
Wilkerson on the foul. Boy, you can't celebrate your basket in this game, Perry, because both these teams have the philosophy, and I love coaches that get this in the kids' mind. Good look at Timmy Wilkerson right there who got the foul. Watch George Lewis on the tail end. No doubt about the foul. It's a good foul, though, because you make Lewis earn his money at the free throw line. And as you said, George Lewis, what a quality kid this kid is. Honor roll. He is in the Army National Guard Reserve and your junior class president.
Yep.
And just for the heck of it, he's a starting guard on an outstanding basketball team.
Back in the lineup. Well, the Wolves certainly making a lot of changes.
There's a good look at George right there. You talk about everything a student athlete is supposed to embody. There's a young man who symbolizes right there.
Aaron Wagerson is checked in, number 34 for Prairie Ridge. So Lewis makes 1. The lead is 9 for the Wolves, 30-21.
Livas bringing the ball up. Dave Valentine, the kid with the ball, he's really doing a nice job today. Narish getting the rest on the bench.
Prairie Ridge. All those teams around that Crystal Lake area.
Now the head coach Corky Card for Prairie Ridge played at Crystal Lake Central back in the day.
Out of bounds right by the coach.
There you go.
Nice grab by Coach Cohn. The ball bouncing in.
Now you notice I'm a lefty, left-hander, but I was able to reach out with the right hand and make a clean catch. Not many announcers can go both left hand and right hand. Statman Nick Pinto agreeing. Outstanding softball player.
So the lead is 9 for the Wolves. Just over 3 minutes remaining in the second quarter. Henderson.
He's got to get going. Carlos Henderson, they got to find a way to get 32, get his offensive game going. Great rebound by Wilkerson.
That was Zurich, actually.
Ah, you're right, Eric Zurich.
But it was a great rebound by the senior. On the drive by Brown.
Prairie Ridge very patient.
Livas, little spin move, jumper, not there. They fight for the offensive board. Henderson and Livas battling for it. Henderson has it on the drive. Henderson shoots and cannot finish.
And it's been a tough first half for Carlos Henderson. He needed that one to go in confidence-wise. Back comes Prairie Ridge. Both these teams outstanding in transition.
Trying to get a screen, a little screen and go, but now there's the deflection by Brown.
What great defense by the unsung hero of the game so far for Elgin Larkin. Jimmy Brown comes over, makes a great defensive stop.
Fight for the loose ball, and Prairie Ridge comes out with it. And now the action a little bit sloppy here, Coach, late in the second quarter.
Keep an eye on Livas now on the inside.
Hitting the three.
He's been the man. He's been the man here in the first half. Dave Valentine, all of a sudden, 12-point lead for Prairie Ridge. Perry and the Wolves fans going wild on the near side here. Livas defending.
He now has 11 in the game.
Well, you can see the way they collapse on Dayvon Ellis, taking away his drive. That was Henderson that time.
Henderson and Ellis with the rebound. Now the steal by Brown, who will fire for three.
That's not a good shot.
Coach, they're just way in too much of a hurry to take the shot.
Yeah, it's one thing to play loose and to be free and easy and not be afraid to shoot, but you got to take good shots. Joe Kane not liking that one. Signals to his team, settle down, and there you see Eod Salem coming back in the game.
And also coming in with Brian Stanley and Juan Williams.
Good look at the just about, would you say it's a full house here, Perry?
Just about. Good crowd here at the Barrington Sectional.
Almost standing room. I see a few people standing on the top of the bleachers. Usually it's just our cameraman.
Or
but
the students always stand. As we say, the students stand during the game, and we sit, and then at halftime, the students sit, the adults stand.
It's amazing. The high school games, the regional finals, the sectional games, you got sold out.
A nice recognition as Livas
go under the basket, but the crowds have just been outstanding in this state tournament, Perry, all over, not just here, but at the various sectional and regional sites.
And a tough basket, but a putback by Williams.
And that was a big one. Dwan Williams giving him some good contribute off the bench, the junior. He'll be a big player for him next year.
Back to within a dozen, inside a minute, though.
Prairie Ridge very patient now, going to take care of the ball.
You thought, but they try to do the feed to Livas down low. Henderson is there now. Here's Williams with his shot, and it's tipped away. And then saved by Livas as he falls over the bench.
Yeah, he's all over the court, Nick Livas. No lack of hustle from that young man, the star of the team, diving for a loose ball to save it on the sidelines. You got to love that.
He's okay. Now he comes out. They had some people help him out.
They're playing 4 against 5.
Tough shot that goes in by Carmody.
Oh, man, the football quarterback, the starting quarterback, Mike Carmody, the hero in the last game with the three-pointer, takes a shot, falling down to the floor. Things going every right way for Prairie Ridge.
And a rejection at the other end of the shot taken by Stanley.
Shot fake, shot fake. You got a shot fake on the inside. They're going up with their first shot. Their hissy, Corky Card. He don't look happy, but inside he's feeling pretty good. His ball club up 14 points.
Dan Meidel has checked in, number 14 for Larkin.
Corky Card, by the way, played at Crystal Lake Central, went to Parkview College and played, and then finished his career at UEPUI. Also known as Indiana University, Purdue University of Indiana.
I think they need a few more initials in that college.
Did I get all that right?
Yep. So 5.2 seconds. What a good second quarter by the Wolves.
They get a shot off here.
Salem, now the handoff. Ellis for three, and it rolls out for him. That kind of second quarter for the Royals. But what a quarter for the Wolves. They led by 2 after 1. But now, at halftime, their lead is up to 14, 37 to 23. Of the Barrington sectional, it's 37-23. The Wolves of Prairie Ridge leading the Larkin Royals. It was a 2-point game after the first quarter, but boy, that second quarter, Coach, just belonged to the Wolves of Prairie Ridge.
Yeah, and like Don Johnson said, and the coach alluded to, was primarily on the inside, and Prairie Ridge, Nick Livas, and the rest of the guys, it's a little bit too strong. We'll see what adjustments Larkin makes here in the second half.
Quick stats of that first half, pretty much all in favor of Prairie Ridge, especially in field goals and rebounding. As the third quarter now is underway here at Barrington High School. And the first shot of the third taken and not made, but the rebound by Henderson up and in for the Royals. That's a good start for Larkin.
Yeah, for Carlos Henderson in particular, their #2 scorer struggled in the first half to get the ball to drop. A good sign for Larkin here in the second half.
Yeah, Zimmerman led the way for them with 9 points in the first half. Livas 14 points, 5 rebounds for Prairie Ridge.
Zimmerman had 8 of those 9 in the first quarter.
Now here come the Wolves. Livas will jump, take a jumper from the baseline, swat it away. Nice save, but a steal the other end. The shot does not go in, taken by Carmody, but Mike will go to the line to shoot 2.
Yeah, Nick Livas taking the shot, falling away. That's exactly what Larkin wants. Corky Card, the outstanding third-year coach of the Prairie Ridge team, and we're going to see the junior, the quarterback of the football team, and the star of the last game, Michael Carmody, at the free throw line. His brother Scott, an outstanding player for Crystal Lake Central. His brother Bob.
He now has 5 in the ball game, rattles that one home.
Brother Bob Perrier, great player for some of those outstanding Crystal Lake Central teams in the mid-90s, coached by Jim Condell, who is now on the bench helping coach Corky Card. So Mike Carmody from a long line of basketball tradition.
Ellis. Tough move down the lane, and he hits the scoop layup and gets the foul as well.
Boy, if you get points for, extra points for degree of difficulty, Dayvon Harris would probably have about a 35-point average. He is amazing. He is creative, finds ways to score. Watching the replay, the stop, there's no room. He squeezes through 2 defenders, has the hang time to still loop it up with the left hand. An amazing shot, very much like you, Perry, in your much younger days.
Yes, no question about it, especially if they lowered the hoop a couple of feet.
Yeah. You did that same shot, but your feet were on the ground.
Yeah, it makes this, it brings him back to within 10.
Junior, 18 points a game.
And he does, 38-28.
Good start for Larkin. Let's see, they've switched up defenses a lot. Looks like full court man-to-man to start it out.
Valentine, now a steal. As it was Lewis that time coming up with the steal. That pressure paid off yet again. Ellis, a scoop layup. And Zimmerman again, strong inside, now within 8. Here come the Royals.
Here comes the full court pressure, and Prairie Ridge got to take care of the basketball. Mike Carmody with the ball, turns it over again. Joe Kane and company, the Larkin fans loving it. Going to be a timeout call by Prairie Ridge, but the pressure defense changing the tempo of the game in favor of the Larkin Royals. Lead down to 8.
Down to 8, 38-30. It was a 14-point halftime lead as they ripped off. And that's Zimmerman now with the rebound, and he now has 11 in the ball game.
Henderson kept it alive, but Eric Zimmerman on the finish, the big kid in the middle. And you could see the Elgin Larkin fans kind of quiet at halftime, but they have come to life.
And they've had some close games, beating Streamwood by 1 at regional semi. Then, of course, the big upset over the #1 seed Crystal Lake South. And then that tough one against St. Charles North the other night in the sectional semi.
That game was 40-39 with a minute 30 left. And their very first game, they almost didn't make it out. Streamwood beating them by 7 points early in the fourth quarter. So certainly Elgin Larkin has proven they can come back and play well in the second half.
Ellis for 3. Henderson there, though, with the rebound. Strong drive to the hole. He gets it to go and draws the foul.
And the guy who made the foul, Eric Zurich, is looking around saying, how did that shot go in? You see the Prairie Ridge team huddling up, trying to wither the storm right now. But somehow, Carlos Henderson, you figured, Perry, once he got that first basket, he was going to get on track, and he certainly has. That was a brilliant move right there. And again, the Blue Crew is up and cheering.
Now 6 in the game, and now Livas back in the lineup. He was getting a breather there by Zurich.
Yeah, and a nice job by Nick Livas to cheer up his teammate. He knows they're going to have to get contributions from Eric Zurich before it's over. Joe Kane feeling much better than he did about a minute and 35 seconds of playing time ago.
Nice box out cutoff on the rebound. Henderson now with 6 points, 6 rebounds in the ball game.
Steve Narish, the guy with the ball, averaged 11 points a game, not scoring a lot in the first half. We'll see if Narish can get untracked offensively. Handled the ball very well, though.
Here holding the ball is Carmody.
Carmody's quicker than Zimmerman now. That could be a mismatch if Carmody wants to put the ball on the ground.
Valentine Picks up his dribble now. Carmody dishes off. Here's the shot taken for three. It does not go. It was taken and on the break by Bub. And a travel violation for... Now, if you're Larkin, you're all excited to cut it down to a 6-point deficit, and you have plenty of time.
Yeah, but if you're Joe Kane, you can't get that, man. Let's watch on the replay. Dayvon Ellis, there's the hop. I don't know. We've seen that play allowed many a times, Perry.
Right, the stop, hop, and pop.
Sometimes you're so quick, you're so athletic, the referees don't anticipate that move. A little bit of a tough call on Dayvon.
38-32.
Full court pressure.
Here it is, and Narish has it.
And get it back to Livas. He's wide open.
And they do. Now here's Livas, brings it up court.
He's not afraid to handle the ball.
Nope. Drive to the hoop by Carmody.
Well, he's playing that complimentary role perfectly, isn't he? He defends, he scores when needed to. Mike Carmody, very athletic, playing that 3 spot brilliantly for the Prairie Ridge Wolves. That was a big basket.
He has 7. Now baseline. And an offensive foul, a charge on Andre Clark.
Yeah, Nick Livas, the scoring star, the rebounding star, sliding his feet over, taking the charge. Good sportsmanship for the senior, headed to Olivet Nazarene. There you see on the replay, our Comcast camera crew catching it in perfect action there. Andre Clark.
Yeah, they indeed are in playoff form, our Comcast crew.
It should be now. We're in the, we're deep in the hunt.
That's right. Here's super sectional away. And at the other end, Carmody, as they're doing a better job breaking that press.
Yeah, make them pay on the other end. Steve Narish. Carmody got the basket, but credit the play to Steve Narish, the point guard. Broke the press, made the great pass.
Now back to a 10-point lead. 5 minutes remaining here in the third.
It's like a boxing match. Each team throwing punches.
Henderson for 3. He gets the rebound back, tipped out to him underneath. Nice recognition. They try to get to Zimmerman. And it's thrown out of bounds as he was trying to feed Lewis down the below the basket.
Calling a Prairie Ridge ball out of bounds. You see the Prairie Ridge fans, which have turned out in full force here.
Salem back in, and Wilkerson will be coming on in.
He adds Salem, the star of the big upset. The big win for Larkin was against number 1 seed Crystal Lake South Ferry, number 2 team in the Fox Valley. Shocked 60-58 by Larkin. That was the real surprise of the entire tournament.
So, getting a little pride there for the Upstate 8 Conference.
What a race that was in the Fox Valley, huh? Lake Zurich, congratulations to them, 10-0. Of course, as of the viewing of this game, we don't know how they did against Waukegan, but a great season for Lake Zurich, the Bears. Crystal Lake and Grays Lake tied for 2nd. Prairie Ridge in 3rd.
Nice strong rebound by Zimmerman off the miss by Livas. Salem has it rejected by Livas.
Every one of these guys, every one of the Elgin Larkin players can take the ball to the hoop. You can tell they do a lot of one-on-one play, triple threat, very good off the dribble. You got to make them beat you on the outside. There you see the athleticism of Ian Salem, who's a great wide receiver during the football season.
Zimmerman tried to save it, couldn't.
Don't foul.
And here's Bub, gets it over the half-court line.
Nice job by Nate Bub to handle the pressure.
Bounce pass down low, Livas trapped there. Oh, pump fake, back out to Livas. Alone for 3, he fakes. And lines a shot up for Adams. Flying in was Wilkerson with the offensive board.
Yeah, he's done a nice job, hasn't he? Tim Wilkerson off the bench, contributes again. Eric Zimmerman, not happy with the call, but watch on the replay, you'll see Timmy Wilkerson slip in from the baseline. The weak side offensive rebounder, folks. That's your best offensive rebounder. Tim Wilkerson hungry for the basketball. Joe Kane going to call timeout. Wants to talk things over. Nice job, I think, by Prairie Ridge of taking a couple of solid punches by Elgin Larkin. And they have withstood the pressure. They got the lead back to 10.
Kind of reminiscent of that girls super sectional we did. Buffalo Grove and Warren. Warren had the huge halftime lead. Buffalo Grove made a big run, closed it, but then Warren was able to weather the storm and increase the lead yet again. There was a good look at the award-winning Prairie Ridge Wolves cheerleading squad. The lead is 10 for Prairie Ridge, 42-32.
Want to congratulate the Daily Herald All-Area Players of the Year in the Northern Region, Mike Colsey. An interesting story in the Daily Herald today where his dad, Mike Colsey Sr., the ex-outstanding coach from Highland Park, was an all-area player himself. Their Daily Herald All-Area Player of the Year back in 1970. And in the Western area, Will Meister from Conan High School, Perry. We watched him play a bunch of times over the years, and certainly 2 deserving winners.
From all Fox Valley area players here tonight, of course, Ellis and then Livas. So after the timeout.
Got some other great games going on tonight. We'll talk about some of those, but boy, some big matches, including the one coming up after us. Hillcrest taking on Homewood.
Oh, the gimme off the inbound.
Oof.
And Livas will score, and now it's a 12-point lead. It was down to 6.
You hate to see that on the defensive end. You want teams to work for their baskets. Don't give up any easy ones. That was an easy one for Prairie Ridge. Big possession here for Elgin Larkin.
Ellis, little spin move down the lane. Boy, is he fun to watch.
Oh, and the help defense came over too, and Ellis, the amazing thing about him is he's quick and athletic, has amazing moves, but he does it in a way where he's under control. We've seen very few offensive out of control calls by him.
And out of bounds, trying to make a move along the baseline was Narrett.
Still a lot of time left in the ballgame. 3:07, third quarter. Elgin Larkin hanging in.
There's that move you were talking about. You're right, Coach, and he has that nice soft touch despite all that body movement that's going into it. He now has 11 in the ballgame.
Good look at
Dwan Williams.
Yep, junior off the bench. Going to have big things from Dwan next year. Iad Salman catching the inbounds pass, but I think they're going to call the kick.
Yep. Foul, actually.
Well, we'll keep an eye on the foul situation. Now that's 4 already. 4 team fouls on Elgin Larkin, so.
Again, off the inbound, they have an opportunity, but in a little too deep was Valentine. And there's the 3rd team foul of the second half against the Wolves.
And if you're a Prairie Ridge in particular, you see the foul call on Mike Carmody right there. You don't want to pick up fouls because you don't want late in the 4th quarter the other team shooting the ball, especially the team that's behind. You see Carmody, a little bit of a bump. Referees pick up the call.
Salem. Now to Williams. Now here's Ellis again. That spin move. Gets back out to Henderson, his cousin. Salem. Yes, hits it.
Nice ball movement.
Yep.
Nice sharing the basketball. Nice ball movement that time, and a big hoop by Elgin Larkin.
44-36. So a little mini run here by the Royals. They're not going away.
Iad Salem really gives him some energy on the offensive end, particularly defensive end.
Well, he tried to give and go, and it's stripped away instead. And a foul on Livas as he tried to get it back.
Yeah, he doesn't like the call. What is that, foul number 2, I believe, on Nick Livas, so we'll keep track of that. But not only a gifted offensive player, watching the defensive end, his quickness. Let's see on the reach-in right here. Yeah, a little bit of body. Clean with the basketball, but contact with the body with the left arm. See if Larkin can execute in the half court.
Down the lane. And a tip in by Ellis. He took the shot and tipped in his own miss.
Everybody talks about how high a guy can jump. Equally as important is how quickly you can get back up. Dayvon Ellis shoots the ball, and then he's able to spring back up quicker than anybody else and get the putback. That's why you work out on the jump rope.
Now back to 6 points to lead. And there's a travel violation on Livas.
And Livas is an emotional player, and you can see he's getting frustrated. Now he's been much better this year than as a junior, but that's what he thrives on. He plays on that emotion and that energy, but you got to make sure the emotion and the energy works for you. And right now, Nick Livas getting away from his game a little bit, and you can see the Larkin fans starting to feel it. Once again, like a boxing match, Perry. Now the punches are being thrown by the Royals.
And some of the Prairie Ridge Wolf fans. The only thing wrong with that is the Cardinal jersey.
Yeah. Won't be long to the Cubs start playing. There's Nick Livas. Yep. Jockeying back and forth, left and right. Good call by the officials. You can see the way that Elgin Larkin is just collapsing on Nick Livas when he drives to the basket.
They're having the old cheerleader competition of how many handsprings you can do down the court. Of course, I just have trouble rolling out of bed in the morning. I don't know how those young ladies do it, but great athletes they are. Award-winning student section, both schools bringing them here tonight. Salem, the left hand. Zimmerman fighting for the loose ball. He got it.
And you know what they're going to do. They're going to go to the right to the hoop every single time and try to stop them. They're so quick off the dribble.
Now the open look.
There it is again.
Out of bounds and losing the handle was Williams.
Yeah, I mean, how many outside shots has Elgin Larkin taken, Perry? Everything is off the dribble, quick to the basket. You know what's coming, but knowing and stopping are two different things.
Well, remember in that second quarter when they fell behind, they were just gunning from long range. And they got away from that inside game and much more effective when they go into the lane.
I think Joe Kane addressed that when he was talking to Don Johnson at halftime. Steve Naris with the ball, very solid ball handler. He and Livas, really the only two guys that played much last year, both coming off the bench. Basically an entire new starting five for Prairie Ridge. Nobody figured at the start of the season they would be back in this situation. Nobody, that is, but the 15 guys on the team and the 4 coaches on the bench for Prairie Ridge.
So just over a minute.
Dave Valentine, a guy who didn't get to play a whole lot last year. Now he's a primary player.
Yeah, he's had a solid game here tonight. Let's see that first half. Both teams with 4 fouls here in the second half, inside a minute. Bit of a spread offense by the Wolves. And they lead it by 6.
I think if you're Larkin, you got to come out a little bit more pressure now. They're laying off the ball a little bit. Prairie Ridge trying to kill some clock, play for one shot here. Livas, you got to collapse on him.
Down low, they back it out again.
Nice decision by Nick. Carlos Henderson with the tough role of having a guard, big number 5.
Not easy.
And last year, these two teams met in the opener of the sectional in Prairie Ridge. Won by 9, 69-61. That would be 8, wouldn't it?
Well, it depends where you went to high school, Coach. And a steal by Williams. They're within 4. Down by 14 at halftime. The Royals of Larkin have cut it to within 4 after 3. What a fourth quarter we'll have your way next. You're watching the Barrington Sectional Championship game. Prairie Ridge 44, Larkin 40, exclusively right here on Comcast. Back, everybody, to Barrington High School in Barrington, Illinois. I'm Perry Williams, along with Coach John Cohn, Don Johnson with you, and there's the blue crew of the Royals of Elgin Larkin as their team has clawed its way back into the sectional title game. They trail by 14 at halftime. Now, as you see, as we head into the fourth quarter, it is a 4-point lead for the Wolves. Larkin shooting much better in the third quarter, 8 of 14, while Prairie Ridge is 3 of 8.
Boy, that third quarter was a tale of really 3 periods. Larkin came out with a big run early.
Right.
Prairie Ridge dominated the middle, but then more importantly at the end, big miss right there. At the end, Larkin had a big run, and that steal by Dwan Williams of Perry was huge. The lead could have been 8. Instead, it was 4. Momentum Elgin.
Zimmerman,
a big miss.
Gets it back underneath. And they call a foul down low.
Let's see who they call it on. Valentine or Livas. You see Nick Livas not happy right there. Eric Zimmerman, strong hands on the inside. Who they call it on?
Livas.
Boy, look at the guys just ripping the ball down. There you see the arm grab. Yep, he got him. Got him in the arm. Really well officiated game here, Perry. Making the right calls at clutch time. Eric Zimmerman, he's got a big game.
Yep. It's a 1 and now he's 11. This to be 12.
Referee's doing a nice job talking to Nick Livas. Corky Card not feeling nearly as good as he did at halftime when they went in with the big lead. And in a game like this, Perry, the longer it goes and it's close, the pressure is on the number 2 seed, Prairie Ridge. And the longer the game goes, I think that it's close. Advantage to these guys right here. The team with nothing to lose, Elgin Larkin.
Missing the second. Livas, the strong rebound.
Winner of this game goes to the mark in Moline. Super sectional takes on either Rockford Jefferson or Duncan Reed and the Rockford Boylan team. They're always in there, aren't they?
Oh, the outstanding program.
What a program.
Don't forget, after this game here on Comcast, you'll see the Joliet Township sectional. Hillcrest taking on Homewood Flossmoor down the lane, and it's Carmody with the hoop.
He's having a big game. Mike Carmody, the hero of the last game, stepping up again today. Nice drive to the basket.
He has 11. Ellis has it stripped away by Valentine. Valentine tracks it down, puts it up, and it goes in.
Wow. First, you got to get a handle on the basketball. Most coaches would tell you slow down and just grab the ball. Dave Valentine somehow finds a way to get a handle and convert the shot. Amazing 7-point lead.
He has 13, but then now Carmody picks up the foul.
Yeah.
Now 16 fouls.
That's a big one now. That's a big one. So for the rest of the way, the Elgin Larkins, Royals rather, are shooting the free throw here in a one-on-one.
Let's take a look at it. Here's Valentine.
Here's the tip, a bobble. Great body control. Nice camera work again.
Ellis, that time they block him as he's trying to go baseline.
I like this kid here.
Juan Williams, blocking foul. His third on Livas, and now a 1-on-1 situation.
Yeah, the foul situation not good for Corky Card and company. Nick Livas with the smile, but it's not a happy smile right there as picks up foul number 3. More importantly, at the free throw line go the Larkins. 6 minute, go the Royals, I should say. 6 minutes and 18 seconds left. They're shooting the bonus rest of the way.
And the junior now has 5, and here's the bonus coming up.
They have not been a great free throw shooting team all season long, though, Perry. They've struggled at times from the line.
Yep.
Juan Williams, 5'11", a junior, developing. Hasn't played a whole lot. Didn't get to play much early in the year, but as you could see, Coach Joe Kane giving him some quality minutes at pressure time.
Zurich replaces Bub, gives him a little more height for the Wolves. So the junior makes him vote.
Yeah, nice free throws. Full court pressure, 5-point lead.
48-43. Well, it was a 4-point lead after 3. And now a steal. And back the other way, but
Livas
here they
can't
come.
foul now.
And Williams will score.
And they're getting a lot of points, a lot of offensive points off of their defense. Steve Narish got to settle Prairie Ridge down. We got an injured player on the court. They're going to call timeout. Joe Kane brings it to the referee's attention. But how about the defense of Elgin Larkin, Perry? They have really kicked into high gear, and the injured player
Jimmy
on
Brown.
the floor right now, Jimmy Brown.
He's give them some good quality minutes off the bench.
Oh, man, 6'1", another junior. They're going to be tough next year.
Oh, yeah.
Huh? Andre Clark, a senior, so they'll lose him.
I had Salem just a little shaken up. See the training staff there.
Eric Zimmerman, the big kid, the senior, so if they can find a little bit of height, some inside play next year, watch out, Upstate 8.
Oh, you have to hand it to Coach Kane and his Royals.
Ooh.
Down by 14 at halftime. Now here they are within 3 in the 4th quarter. But the Wolves have the basketball.
Got to take care of the ball now. Each possession becomes critical. Carmody had a solid game.
Now Carmody almost trapped there, is able to get it out.
Good defense by Iad Salem.
Valentine had to swat it back at him. They're so quick.
Yeah, Prairie Ridge solid with the ball, though. You can see they're really making sure to catch the ball, pass the ball, catch it, come and meet it. Good triple threats, using the dribble only for a purpose. They haven't put the ball down on the floor in about 8 passes in a row. Watch out, now you got to look to score.
And now it's stripped away. Here's Henderson, and it rolls in and out. And out of bounds. See what the call is.
Yeah, a little frustration there. Carlos Henderson almost letting the best of his emotions.
And they give it to Prairie Ridge.
Yeah, the frustration on the missed shot. I don't know how that ball did not go in, Perry. It looked like it was going down. 2 points on the scoreboard registered. Somehow, the ball found a way to go out. And you can see the frustration in the face of Carlos Henderson. Watch the move. Wow.
In and out.
That's a tough break. That would have been huge. And there you can see the frustration. Nice job by the referee. Just step right in.
Yep, they just got tangled up.
Yep, 2 teams playing hard. Dave Valentine in that.
48-45.
Yeah, Prairie Ridge now, you know, it's one of those deals where you try to kill the clock and take care of the ball, but you lose that offensive go-to-the-basket mentality, which they did so well here in the first half. They got to find a way to score here.
Yep. Livas, that reverse layup, he's done that a couple times tonight, and he did it again, and the lead grows back to 5.
That's one way to find a way to score, huh? Defense has got to collapse on Nick Livas. When he goes to the basket, he ain't looking to pass, he's looking to score. Help side defense has to come over.
18 in the ball game. Salem, Zimmerman there, up and in, +1.
Another unsung hero today, Eric Zimmerman with the strong hands on the inside. Grabs the loose ball, the air ball off of Eiad Salem's shot. Most guys would not even be able to get the ball up on that foul. His arm got ripped, but the strength of Eric Zimmerman allowed him to make the basket.
Foul is on Nate Bubb.
What a big senior, having an excellent game. Watching the replay, Salem breaking down the defense. Now Eiad will tell you that's a pass, but Eiad would be wrong.
He has 13 points, 8 rebounds, but a tough missed free throw.
Love the way Livas covers up the rebounds.
Yep.
Boy, every battle on the, every shot on the backboards is contested.
And Prairie Ridge will take a timeout. 4:09 remaining in regulation time.
That's what it's all about right here. Sectional championship, 3-point game, big crowd, fans getting into it. 4 minutes left. The pressure now on the players. Which team can handle that pressure the best? Don't forget, we're going to have our Daily Herald Comcast player of the game. Who will that be, and who will the winning team be? We're going to find out real quick.
Yeah. Let's take another look at this layup by Livas. Going baseline, and they don't get over in time.
That's a 6'5" kid making that move. That's just a great athletic move, and Livas has to be careful not to charge and pick up the foul.
Let's go to Don Johnson with an update.
When I talked to Tracy Bogart, head athletic trainer at Barrington, she said he just got hit in the head a little bit, but he's okay. He's going to go back in the game. He'll be just fine and continue with some good minutes in this basketball game. Let's go back over to John and Perry.
Okay, you said Don Johnson. He is not one of the cheerleaders. That was his voice. And thanks for that update. We're glad that it's everything's fine. Just a little woozy, but all these players just laying it all out on the hardwood tonight.
Yeah, really tremendous energy, tremendous effort. The Larkin team trying to be the Cinderella team of the 32 teams that are left in the state, Perry. The 15-15 record of Larkin, the worst left. I think you got Bennett Academy, another surprise team, 15-14. New Trier, who had that incredible near half-court shot to beat Von Steuben, at 15-14 amongst the Cinderella teams. How about Bennett, huh? Remember we had them a couple weeks ago?
Against Conant, yep. The backdoor, foul. And going to the line will be Carmody.
That's the way to use the shot fake. Mike Carmody gets the ball on the inside. Free throw shooting going to be huge the rest of the way. Great pass by Nick Livas. He can do it all, folks. And there you see Dwan Williams getting up in the air. Keep your feet on the ground defensively, and a great shot fake by that man right there, Mike Carmody.
He makes the first. Boy, I tell you, Coach Kane is an active head coach and an outstanding job he has done.
Hey, speaking of Cinderellas, how about Joe Kane's old school, Maine South?
Maine South, yeah.
The number 15 seed under Tony Laverato Jr. Knock off Glenbrook South, the 2 seed, and almost pulled it off in the sectional opener against Conant. They got behind 15-0. Came back and tied it up at halftime.
Now 5 team fouls.
Those are big free throws.
Yep.
Free throws going
to lead.
Free throw is going to be key the rest of the way. Now, if you're Larkin, you want to take the ball to the hoop here because Prairie Ridge got 18 fouls.
Tough shot by Ellis goes in. Boy, he's fallen in love with that shot, and why not? It's been working.
Again, if this was scored like gymnastics or figure skating, Dayvon Ellis would be the leading scorer in the state. I mean, he hasn't had an easy shot yet today. Somehow gets the ball to go in, gets the lead down to 3 points.
Now 3:25.
Prairie Ridge running some clock now. The delay game, looking for the backdoor basket.
Yep, that's what happened last time. And Carmody went to the line, made both shots.
Steve Naris, 11 points a game. He has really not looked to score much today. Nice job defensively by the point guards. In this case, Dwan Williams for Elgin Larkin.
But Carmody has stepped up. Valentine has stepped up. Of course, that big game by Livas as well. He had one game this year. He had 41 against Rockford Harlem. Don't want to bunch up too many people in one spot.
5-second call. You got to be careful of that too. The closely guarded call. Boy, Prairie Ridge in a full-out delay here. They're looking for a layup only.
And they try to go backdoor up, and Ellis comes out with it. A three would tie it, but on the break, it's Henderson, pump fake. And he doesn't kill. Salem is there, they're within one.
Ian Salem, he got the big basket to beat Crystal Lake Central. Gets a huge offensive rebound there. The lead down to one.
And they have a couple fouls they can play with. They can take at least one chance.
Yeah. Oh, the pressure right now. Let's see what they got. Zimmerman might have a foul call here.
And there is a foul away from the ball. And now that is the 16th foul. They don't have that gimme foul to play with.
There's the look. Carlos Henderson again can't quite find the shot. Prairie Ridge not able to control the ball, and Salem, Johnny on the spot, picks up the basket. Zimmerman comes out of the ball game, and now if you're Prairie Ridge, Perry, do you go delay game here or play your normal offense?
I think you kind of spread it, but you still try to do. Now they've done a better job off the inbound, blocking that easy pass.
And Dave Valentine very hot offensively early. Almost tossed it away there. Here comes the trap. Don't fall.
And every time they've slowed it down, 3 times, they've had 3 turnovers.
It was a great job by Nate Budd to split the trap. So they're not even looking to score right now.
And now going to the line will be Livas. We'll shoot the 1-on-1 with 1:51 on the clock.
Pretty good free throw shooter. We said free throw is going to be key here down the stretch. Certainly it will be that. Final 1 minute and 51 seconds left of the season for one of these two teams. Of course, the overtime possibility. And Nick Livas has taken some pressure free throws in his high school career, Perry, but none more important than this one. And the bonus coming right up.
He had 25 points, 17 rebounds against Johnsburg the other night. They missed the front end of the 1-on-1.
Big rebound.
Big rebound by Bub.
Oh, Nate Budd.
And Livas gets it back. Nice bounce pass down low. Getting hammered is Carmody, and he'll go to the line to shoot 2.
Oh, what a huge offensive rebound by Nate Budd off the miss. Mike Carmody, a very good free throw shooter, gonna go to the free throw line. What a turn of events it was there. Watch on the rebound. Or this is Livas, a big man who can pass the ball. That was a great interior pass.
They do a nice job with the pump fakes, drawing the foul.
Yeah, I love Livas' floor game right there. A guy who can pass, handle the ball. That's 5 on Eric Zimmerman.
Yep. What a game he played. Outstanding effort by Zimmerman.
If indeed it is Eric Zimmerman's final game, I get a good look at Mike Carmody now, who has his most important free throws of his high school career. But if it's Eric Zimmerman's last game, and he's certainly hoping it's not, he can hold his head high, because what a warrior he was out in the court tonight.
He leads with 13 points, 5 rebounds. Zimmerman.
He just battled right from the get-go, Perry, against a big, strong Prairie Ridge team. He really was their primary inside force.
Yep. And what an effort he put on before. Now a little confusion. It was a shooting foul. I don't know. They're getting clarification. Yeah. Well, I think we're all set to go.
This will be a 2-shot foul once we get the clock straight.
Meanwhile, Mike Carmody's
it's a clock situation.
Mike Carmody's been at the free throw line waiting for a long time. See, I would rather have the shooter off the free throw line right now. Carmody's been in that same spot for a long time. I always like it when they back off, and then when everything's ready to go, step to the free throw line and get in your normal routine.
So Carmody will shoot 2. And he misses the first of 2.
No relation, by the way, to Northwestern's fine coach, Bill Carmody. We mentioned earlier his brothers Scott and Bob, both outstanding players for Crystal Lake Central.
53-51. Prairie Ridge leads Larkin.
A double team on Ellis.
Clark, cross court, Salem. Henderson, baseline. Blocking foul, he'll go to the line.
That's a good call. Good call. Carmody got there late. Carlos Henderson, the baron of the baseline. He loves that little baseline move. But number 32 is going to go to the free throw line. Watch on the replay. Carmody gets there late. Boy, that could have gone either way. But I think again, a less experienced referee probably calls the offensive call there, because he did throw the arm out, but the defensive player was moving. You could have called him on both, but I think the defense caused the foul first.
Henderson with the 1-and-1. 6 points in the ball game. Long on that, and it's tracked down. And a timeout taken alertly as Bub was trapped in the corner.
That's 2 in a row, huh? 2 in a row for Nate Budd. Again, unsung heroes, complimentary players. So often the difference in a game like this. Nate Bubb, the 6'1", 172-pound junior, 2 times in a row, coming up with huge, huge rebounds.
9 team fouls on Prairie Ridge, so one more. It's the super or double bonus. 8 on Larkin. Boy, what a second half.
What a run in the tournament by the Elgin Larkin Maroons. They came in the tournament with a 12-15 record, 5-9 in the very competitive Upstate 8 conference. Of course, Neuqua Valley, your conference champions, Waubonsie Valley coming in second, East Aurora, Lake Park. I mean, when Lake Park is your 4th place team, you know you got a heck of a conference.
Coach, I'm getting dizzy watching these talented gymnasts or cheerleaders going back and forth, both of them. You saw the Larkin ones that time. Now you see the Larkin bench.
Like you try to one-up the other person.
Oh, the crowd loves it.
Yep.
Remember that game we did a few years ago? They had the dueling,
baton.
the baton.
Oh.
I think it was a Schaumburg,
Yeah.
somewhere.
It was at Schaumburg High School.
Yeah, Schaumburg High School, but I can't remember the exact team. There's a young fan. And that crowd, boy, the baton went higher and higher and higher.
That's a future Prairie Ridge Wolves girls basketball player right there, probably a point guard. Notice the referees constantly talking to Nick Livas right in front of us. You see the Wolves fans, they smell the super sectionals for the 2nd year in a row. No McHenry County team has ever gone to 2 super sectionals. Prairie Ridge, a minute and 26 seconds away from being the first to do so.
Here's Narish.
Got to take care of the basketball.
Counted there by Williams. Carmody, and he is wrapped up there.
Let's see if they call this a shooting foul. This is key now. Do they call the foul before the shot? I think they're going to call it a shooting foul. Nope. Nope, 1 and 1.
Yep.
Yeah, you could see there the foul early. Again, the referees get the call right. Mike Carmody hit 1 of 2 the last time. Missed his first, made his second. He won't get that luxury this time. Now, if you're Elgin Larkin, you got to make sure you box out and get the miss. Big free throw.
Rolls in and out.
Chance to tie.
Or take the lead with a 3. Ellis, that spin move goes back the other way.
Great defense.
Oh! We're tied at 53 with 1 minute remaining in the 4th quarter.
I mean, ordinarily you're going to say bad shot, bad shot. That was a 4th shot. Dayvon Ellis finding a way to get that ball in. Larkin now, the fans going wild. Prairie Ridge would love to get the last shot, but can they handle the ball for 45 seconds under pressure? Man, Prairie Ridge has, gone almost primarily delay game here late, Perry, and I don't know that it's worked.
Yeah, take another look at the shot by Ellis.
The no call by the refs. Again, a great no call. I mean, that's an unbelievable shot. The scoop left hand on contact.
Yeah, and great concentration.
Wow.
Going down the lane.
Amazing. He uses the glass real well, too, doesn't he?
Yep.
Almost every shot the backboard. You know, you said a 3 to take the lead. As you said that, I'm trying to think, has Elgin Larkin even attempted a 3 this game?
They had a couple attempts anyway, but they had those attempts in that 2nd quarter where they fell behind by 14.
Going to get a timeout call, I think.
Larkin will take a timeout, 45.3 seconds, and
boy, Joe Kane and company looked like they were pretty much done in. You figured the Cinderella story was coming to an end. There you see him talking to long-time assistant coach Tommy Yore. And Tommy Yore, Perry, was supposed to be landing in Florida earlier today. He had a trip planned to Florida. You see the Larkin fans. But Coach Tommy Yore does not teach at the school anymore. 42 years as a coach in the area.
There you go. They talk about the perhaps basketball player or a future Wolves cheerleader. Well, no 3s in the ball game.
Yeah, that's rare. I mean, how many games have we done in this day and age?
Of course, we saw Larkin there at the first Comcast broadcast of the season. Stunning upset by their big crosstown rival. The Maroons beat them 69-66 in an outstanding ball game.
Yeah, I saw Elgin South is going to open up next year. And I saw the Larkin football coach, Dale Shabert, is most likely going to transfer over there. And you remember their longtime boys coach, Jim Harrington.
Yeah.
Looks like he's going to get a job at Elgin South. So starting in the 2006 year, We're going to have Elgin Larkin, Elgin, and Elgin South. All right, here we go. 45 seconds.
Off the inbound. There's Narish. Guarded there by Williams. What a nice job Williams has done off the bench.
Really has, defensively in particular.
And those have turned into some baskets for him.
And if you're Prairie Ridge, you'd love to go for the last shot. Maybe work the clock down to 14, 13 seconds. Call another timeout. Not sure if they have one left.
Little crossover dribble, and it's taken away by the Royals. And back come the Wolves with it. 20 of time, 20 seconds.
Wow. What a big turnover that was. Livas somehow controls the ball. Larkin had a chance to get the ball and go for the win, threw it away.
Here's Livas with the open look. He takes a shot, doesn't go, Salem with it. And a timeout Larkin, 3.9 seconds.
And they are absolutely going berserk on the Elgin Larkin side. Look at them bouncing up and down. Fortunately, we got reinforced stands here at Barrington High School, but they're going to have to go the length of the court. 3.9 seconds left. Nick Livas, the senior. Can he send his team to the super sectionals? The stop, the pop.
A nice job by Salem.
Yep.
Defensively with the arms straight up.
Pretty good shot by Livas. Couldn't get it to fall. He struggled with his offensive shot. Now Joe Kane trying to set something up. You practice these plays in practice, and defensively now, what does Prairie Ridge do here?
Well, if they get the defensively, I mean, Ellis has been so successful going down the lane, going to the hoop.
If there's any doubt about the fact of Dayvon Ellis being able to take the ball from one end of the court to the other in 3.9 seconds, trust me, he can do it in less than that. Yeah, if you're Prairie Ridge, I think you want to maybe take the zinger on the ball along with the guy defending Ellis, maybe double team Dayvon Ellis. Probably put someone on Henderson, make sure one of those two guys doesn't go coast to coast. Ehad Salem, very good going to the basket too. And don't forget the other part of this equation is the Prairie Ridge knows they cannot foul. Elgin Larkin, a number 8 seed, 15 and 15, 5-game losing streak heading into the state playoffs. And if they make a bucket here, they're going to the super sections.
Henderson will inbound, but a timeout now called by Prairie Ridge. So just about 4 seconds, just under. Boy, you're just joining us, what a ball game. It was 19-17 in a wild first quarter. And then Prairie Ridge had a big second quarter. They led it by 14 at the intermission. Larkin made a run. Prairie Ridge answered back up to 12. But by the end of the third quarter, it was down to 4 at 44-40. And here we are, just under 4 seconds remaining, tied at 53.
Well, Prairie Ridge just stopped scoring in the fourth quarter. That's the bottom line. They were so in sync in the first half and even into the third quarter. And, you know, you live by the sword, die by the sword. Coaches make decisions. They went in that delay game a little bit. They got some good shots out of it, but they have just struggled to score here in the fourth quarter. And Elgin Larkin getting some points off their defensive pressure, getting right back in the ball game.
You can see the shaking of the stands from the fans. Yep. And the award-winning Prairie Ridge fans. And boy, they were all smiles at halftime.
You can see
there you see the Prairie Ridge group.
What a great group Prairie Ridge brought, huh? From Crystal Lake.
Yep.
An ever-growing community. Remember when it used to be practical farmland out there? Now you got Crystal Lake South, Crystal Lake Central, Prairie Ridge, 3 big high schools.
Jacob not too far.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Henderson will inbound it. They're trying to set a screen, and they get it to Williams. Williams ahead to Salem. Salem, the shot does not go at the buzzer, and we will have overtime. Tied at 53.
Well defended, parried by Prairie Ridge, and kind of a rightful way for this game to go into overtime. These two teams have fought so hard, but such an outstanding sectional championship game. Overtime is almost the just reward.
So it gives the fans here and us just a momentary breather.
Yeah, there hasn't been many in this game. It's been fast-paced. Now, one key, too, is up on the board. Now, you got 9 team fouls on each team. So every foul is super bonus, 2 shots all the way.
Okay, back with overtime after this. You're watching high school basketball on Comcast. Welcome back, everybody. I'm Perry Williams, along with Coach John Cohn. We are in overtime at the Barrington sectional as the Larkin Royals have hit a three-pointer early in the extra session to lead it. 56-53. Now they get a block on defense, and here they come with the basketball and the lead for the first time since the early moments of the ball game. Oh! By Ellis. We apologize.
Oh.
It was Ellis who hit the first three-pointer in that overtime. We had a little technical problems. We apologize for that, but you know that Ellis now single-handedly has given his team a 6-point lead. Livas, though, the offensive board.
So dangerous going to the basket the entire game. Comes out in overtime. There's a bad shot.
Juan Williams.
That shot, but how about it? Dayvon Ellis hits 2 3-pointers. That last three, Perry, from NBA range. I mean, that was 24, 25 feet away. No fear for the junior who has carried the Elgin Larkins in this game. An amazing performance. 6-point lead.
2:20 remaining in overtime.
The Cinderella shoes are being fitted for size for Elgin Larkin right now. Who would have thunk it?
There's a foul, and it'll be automatically 2 shots here on out.
Super bonus, 2 shots. You could see the frustration on David Valentine. Played such a great game.
The last time they led, Coach, it was 4-2.
Yeah, Prairie Ridge dominated. Well, the second quarter in particular, you could see Carlos Henderson, the smile on the face, and Juan Williams getting a ton of playing time here, Perry.
Well, it's been 13 years since the Royals made a super sectional trip. 2:12 remaining in the overtime. They lead it by 6. And now they have that's the advantage of that super bonus.
Yep, but you got to hit him. Juan Williams a little bit strong on that free throw.
Okay, this is the first 3 that we're not able to show you coming into the overtime. Good look from the beyond the arc along the baseline.
And you can't blame the defense because he's so dangerous going to the bucket. You have to play out. You almost have to give him that particular shot.
So now the lead is 7. So now you're caught up. You haven't missed any of the action.
Crystal Lake has to be smart in this possession. 2-3 zone. Another great job by Joe Kane switching up the defensive looks.
Pump fake. Narish down the lane. A little short on that layup. Fight the loose ball. At the other end, it will be.
Yeah, Nick Livas has got to get control of himself right now. Letting his emotions get to him just a little bit. Get yourself under control. Referee's doing a nice job of talking him down.
And his teammates too.
Yep, big crowd. Big crowd. A lot of energy in the game.
Yeah.
It's one of the things we get through sports. You got to keep your composure even under pressure, Nick Livas. And again, that's what makes him such a great player, Perry, is his energy and his emotion. But again, you got to make it work for you. Watch. There's the rip and the rebound by Ian Salem. He clearly got fouled, no question about it. Thrown to the ground, and then we had some minor little scuffle afterwards. What a hard-fought ball game this has been.
Salem coming to the line. Larkin, the 8th seed in this Barrington sectional. And we talked about those close games they had. And and they can play. Being the 8th seed, they had nothing to lose. Even though they fell behind by 14, they kept their composure. They battled back, and now a minute 59 away from the sectional championship.
This guy right here, an outstanding wide receiver in football, but he's the key player against Crystal Lake South. It was Iad Salem who misses the free throw there. He got to hit him under pressure here, but he made a reverse layup, Perry, in the final seconds to help beat Crystal Lake South. He had a game during the football season, over 200 yards in receiving yardage. Top 5 all-time in the IHSA record book.
Rattles out and back in. 61-53. It's an 8-0 run in overtime for the Royals.
Yeah, there's still time here. You got to take the ball to the hoop or shoot the 3.
Yep.
2-3 zone. Joe Kane's done a great job of mixing up his defenses.
Give and go. Carmody down the lane, and it goes in for him.
Nice possession, got the lead down to 6. Now you got to pick up full court. You just got to make sure Larkin does not get the easy basket on the other end. Have that safety valve back on defense.
A little give and go between the cousins.
What do you think? Does Larkin have a delay game even in their game plan?
I don't know. Salem.
That's a very small page in their playbook. I can guarantee you that.
And don't forget, they've done much of this.
There it is.
At the other end, Brown, the feet from Ellis.
Yeah, you start scattering for the ball. You start chasing the ball. You leave somebody open.
Long three, doesn't go. The putback rebound does go in by Adams.
Got to pressure defensively now. You might need to foul here. You almost have to, and hope they miss at the free throw. I think it's a smart foul by Dave Valentine. Game not over yet. 6-point lead. Corky Card calling the ball club over. He's going to talk to him. Might be discussing which players you want to foul and which not, but sometimes you can't be too choosy. Watching the replay. Great pass off the spread offense. Jimmy Brown. Another one of those juniors.
Yep.
Boy, and an experience like this, playing in these kind of games, that is so helpful to this young team for next year. Forget about next year, though.
Yep.
Ian Salem makes a couple of free
They want to
throws.
make it to next week.
They're going to be in the final 16 teams of the state.
And misses the first.
Yeah, they've missed about 3 or 4 pressure shots here in overtime. You see the Prairie Ridge team, the almost international symbol of the team here, the holding hands on the bench. Sign of the team togetherness. Royal players trying to give good luck to Ian Salem. He makes 1 of 2.
Just like the other time down, missed the first, made the second. 64-57, they got to get up quickly. And Salem comes with it. And a foul on Livas.
Yeah, it's foul number 4 on Nick Livas, and he quickly made sure to get his hands up so the refs know he was just going for the intentional foul. But he's done 4 fouls now, so 1 more, and their star, 20 points a game, 9 rebounds a game, will be out. And Ian Salem is going to have 2 more key free throws. Boy, I think that's a foul. What do you think?
Yep. Actually, that could be it, Coach.
That 5?
That is 5, indeed. 5 and 5.
I think both sets of fans got to come up and give him a hand. Nick Livas, what a career he has had, particularly what a senior year.
They're giving a set of hands there.
How about that? That's good sportsmanship, huh?
Well,
you mean they're not clapping for him?
No, but what an outstanding athlete, and what an effort by Nick Livas here tonight.
Yeah, this one's going to hurt. This one's going to hurt, but he had a tremendous senior year after coming off the bench as a junior.
Leads to 16 points, 7 rebounds.
Meanwhile, Ian Salem continues to struggle from the free throw line.
What a job by Coach Kane and the Royals to hang in there. Missing them both, but Salem gets the rebound. And now Henderson will go to the line. So now it's just a parade to the free throw line.
45 seconds left. Prairie Ridge frustrated. Larkin feeling it. They're standing up. Smiles on the sidelines. Mike Carmody feeling the frustration, symbolizing the frustration for the Prairie Ridge team. They thought they had this game won, Perry. I mean, they had it in control early in the 4th quarter, and it just got away from them. You think assistant coach Tony Orr, there's Corky Card right now. But now what do you do with the Florida vacation?
Yeah.
Now, instead of showing up late, you got to cancel the whole vacation. Can't leave now, though, right? You got to stick around. Next Tuesday. The Mark and Moline. 1 more win, you head downstate.
Yep. So, unless something unforeseen happens here, in the final 45 seconds, the Royals will take on either Boylan or Jefferson in that Moline Super Sectional.
Yep, nothing you can do but foul now. The shots have just gone down. There's been an absolute lid on the basket here in the 4th quarter and overtime for Prairie Ridge. Tough break. A chance for 2 super sectionals in a row, but it's not going to happen. Elgin Larkin is going to continue their amazing state tournament run.
And let's not forget the effort that the senior center, Eric Zimmerman, did. He fouled out midway in that 4th quarter.
I'll tell you one guy who didn't forget, Joe Kane, the head coach. He just came down and just said something to Eric Zimmerman, exactly that we are not here. We are not in overtime about to win this game without your contribute during the regular 48 minutes, 32 minutes.
So some of the crowd starting to file out. They feel it here. They feel that in overtime.
There you go, chalk off the wins again.
Yep.
This is a team down in their first game to Streamwood. They were down 7 points, fourth quarter, found a way to win.
And these are really long threes. Another foul. Henderson will go to the line. So 30 seconds remaining.
Yeah, it's going to happen. It's going to happen for Elgin Larkin. Look at the smiles on the face. Boy, I'll tell you. 5-9 in the conference, Perry, and they're going to go to the super sectionals. That's absolutely amazing. There you see the sign right there. They can add one more team to the list next week.
Yep, they've already checked out the Wolves now. Sabres, Gators, North Stars of St. Charles North now tonight. The Wolves in overtime.
Next up, Rockford Boiler or Rockford Jefferson, but they will celebrate this one for a while. And I don't think there's any doubt who's going to be our Comcast Daily Herald player of the game. The young man who was brilliant in the regulation play, but his 2 3-pointers, one from long distance by Dayvon Ellis, got them going in the overtime. And Joe Kane
gets in the lineup, and Vidal also back in. They played a little bit in that second quarter when Coach Kane was a little disappointed, if you will, with some of his players, so he made some substitutions. Tim O'Connor getting some playing time. Also Derek Mills. Also Alex Steffen. All coming on in.
Boy, are they celebrating on the bench. That's the greatest feeling in the world, folks. That's what you work hard for, the summertime and the off season. During the season, don't give up. 5-game losing streak, things get tough. Coach keeps you up, keep believing. You never know what can happen.
And on the jump ball, and it will be Larkin basketball.
Yeah, and at this point, I think both teams, you just want the clock to run out. I'm not even sure if you're Prairie Ridge, you go for the fouls now. You got to realize this game is over. 13 points down, 24 seconds left. Of course, we'll have the super sectional game, Perry, going to be a good one. Winner of Glenbrook North and Conant, taking on the winner of Lake Zurich and Waukegan. Will be at the Joe Gentile Fieldhouse at Loyola.
And don't forget, right after this game, Hillcrest home at Flossmoor, that Joliet Township sectional championship game. So a doubleheader for you right here on Comcast.
Chance to see Julian Wright, top 10 player in the country, they said.
Off the inbound. And a foul on the play.
Almost frustrating for these fans right here. The Larkin players, the Larkin fans can't wait to storm the court and celebrate. But this last minute has just been painstakingly long. More so for, of course, the losing Prairie Ridge team.
22-7, the second seed. Up 14 at halftime. Third quarter, 12, but 4-point lead going into the fourth quarter.
Had a great 3-year run under Corky Card. A couple of years ago, 16-2 in the Fox Valley when they used to play everybody twice, conference champs. Last year, of course, they had the amazing run at 29-3 to the Supers. This year, 7-3 in the conference, 22-7 overall, but it's the Elgin Larkins, the Royals, that are all smiles on the bench. Andre Clark, number 10.
Yeah, Ryan Distelhorst is coming on in. Pick up a couple other numbers if we can for you. Aaron Wegerton is in for Prairie Ridge. Greg Tampa in as well. So nice job by both coaches to get everyone some playing time to say they played in that sectional championship game. And the free throw rattles in. A couple more players come on in. Eric Curran, number 3. There he is. He is a junior, so he'll be back. That fine Prairie Ridge program. Strong move to the hoop. Doesn't fall for Derek Mills. Fight for the loose ball. They get it back out. Vidal. And these reserve players still battling. As 4.3 seconds remain, a game that went into overtime.
Larkin fans ready to storm the court here. They're just waiting for the clock to tick down.
0.6 seconds.
Not quite yet. Both teams still playing hard. You got to give them credit, but the celebration about to begin. And the most important guy in the world is standing next to us right now, the guy with the ladder that will be used to climb to cut down the net. Here we go.
And the horn sounds in an overtime. A dramatic come from behind victory by the Royals of Elgin Larkin. And they capture the Barrington Sectional Championship with a final score 70-58 over the Prairie Ridge Wolves. Back with our Comcast Daily Herald Player of the Game in overtime. 70-58. That's score. Back after this.
That's March Madness.
Welcome back, everybody. A sea of royal blue on the floor here at Barrington. The Royals with a stunning come-from-behind victory in overtime to beat the Prairie Ridge Wolves 70-58. Now let's go on the court and hear Don Johnson standing by with our Comcast Daily Herald Player of the Game.
Courtside with Dayvon Ellis, a tremendous performance, a classic, come-from-behind victory. 17 points at the end of regulation, but I want to know what was Coach talking about at halftime. 14 points behind. What was in your mind?
Coach is just telling us that's why it's 2 halves in the game. We wasn't playing our game in the first half, and we just had to step up and take over in the second half, and that's what we did. Played our game.
When you came out in overtime, you looked to be a man possessed. And you went highlight film, you came out, you hit the first three-pointer. It looked like you knew you had him on the line then.
I knew I had to step up. I didn't feel I was doing too much in the first half. I was rushing a little bit, but I knew I had to step up and make something happen, and I did that.
When you hit those 2 3-pointers, it looked like your whole team rallied and got behind you after coming back from 14 points at halftime. And then we saw a little frustration from their big man.
Yeah, that was the key. We just tried to go at him as much as possible. He's a great player. We tried to slow him down as much as we could, and we just fought hard.
All right, congratulations. 23 points, 8 rebounds, 17 in regulation, and you're going to Moline for the super sectional. Let's go back over to John and Perry.
All right, excited group of Royals, and why not? Sectional champions 2005, the Barrington Sectional, on to the Sweet 16. They'll take on either Rockford Boylan or Rockford Jefferson in that Moline Super Sectional. Any final thoughts, Coach, real quick?
Heck of a ball game, Perry. On to one more of the Super Sectional. If it's as good as this one, we will be in for another treat.
Okay, that will wrap it up for us, for the coach, John Cohn, for Don Johnson, for set man extraordinaire, Mr. Nick Pitto, for our producer and director tonight, Mr. Anthony Bourdignon, our entire Comcast production team. This is Perry Williams. Thank you so much for watching, and so long, everybody.